Welcome back to V2K Photography. You are a smartphone user, I know that. If you are in the market looking for a camera that can do everything your smartphone can do, only better in every way possible, maybe the Fujifilm X-A7 is the best choice for you. It's an excellent choice, really. The Fujifilm X-A7 is an entry-level interchangeable lens camera with an APS-C sensor of 24 megapixels. The price on the camera is 60,000 Indian rupees, but there is a festival offer going on which you can get it for 40,000 rupees. But is the camera worth the money? Let's find out. The X-A7 is compact, lightweight, easy to carry, easy to store, and stylish as well. Why not? The camera comes in 5 variants: silver, dark silver, camel, green mint, and navy blue. The dark silver, I must say, it is striking. First of all, this camera is intended for people who have been using only smartphones and point-and-shoot cameras and who have been testing waters with bigger cameras. This has an APS-C sensor, which is way bigger than your smartphone sensors. So this camera is an excellent choice in that regard. And guess what? This camera is actually really good for even non-technical people and also enthusiastic amateurs. So let's split this video into 2 segments, one for the non-technical users and the other one for the technical aspirants who want to learn photography. But before that, we have a lot of bells and whistles in this camera. Let's take a look at them. The buttons on this camera is pretty minimalistic. The power button, photo button, video recording button, menu, back, playback, and delete button. You also have a joystick, which comes in pretty handy. You can use it for menu navigation and also photo navigation. And also you can press the joystick and it acts as an OK button. You can also have 3 customizable buttons. 1 physical button on the top that can be customized to your choice, and 2 on-screen buttons you can customize. Still disappointed? Don't be, because we have this quick menu, the Q menu. You can have anything that you want, everything that you use pretty often. You can just customize that into the Q menu and then you can just access them very fast. Dials. We have 3 dials. The front one is the aperture dial, the back one is the shutter dial, and also the mode dial. A 3.5-inch fully articulating touchscreen display. It is pretty bright, it has got a really good resolution, and you can even use it in bright daylight conditions. It's really good. There is no electronic viewfinder, but using with the 3.5-inch screen is, I think, really good. The touch is also fully functional and quite responsive. The fully articulating screen comes in really handy for vlogging scenarios because people who film themselves, they need to know the current state of the camera, and this is so helpful for that. On the right side, you have a micro HDMI connection and also a USB-C connection. You can use the USB-C connection to either charge your battery or you can even use for file transfers. On the left side of the camera, you have a microphone input. It is a 2.5mm input jack, but don't worry, the box also includes a 2.5 to 3.5mm adapter, so you can use any microphone of your choice and then just record your audio straight into the camera. And on the left side, you have a small button for the pop-up flash, so it can be used for some low light photography. Maybe it will be really handy in low light conditions. You can also choose from a variety of aspect ratios. So you can shoot in the aspect ratio you want, compose with it, so you don't have to waste your time cropping it in the post. Okay, first, let's look at the non-technical user perspective. This camera is mainly aimed at the audience that need not or does not have the time to learn photography. They just want to get the things done quickly and, more importantly, reliably. If you are a vlogger, this camera may be an excellent choice for you. All you have to do is turn your dial to SR Plus mode. This is what enables your camera to be a smart camera, right? So the computer decides most of the things for you, so you can concentrate on the content rather than the technical aspects of the scenes that you're shooting. The SR Plus mode is pretty intuitive, and even if you don't know the terminologies of photography, it's totally fine. You can still make great images. When you want to adjust something, the vocabulary in the camera actually would make more sense to you. For instance, instead of the technical term aperture, you'll see depth control, where you get a slider and you can adjust the blur you want. The slider also shows if you're moving more towards the blurry background or a deeply focused background. Easy, right? The same with exposure compensation. The positive side makes the image brighter, the negative side makes the image darker. That's about it. It's so easy to use. Taking pictures is so easy because the camera recognizes the scene you're shooting. It can recognize macro, it can recognize landscapes, portraits, moving subjects, and then all you have to do is just press the button, take the picture. That's it. In videos, you can shoot 4K up to 30 FPS with continuous autofocus and without any crop. In Full HD, you can shoot up to 60 FPS, and 120 FPS can only be shot in 720p. Even though the resolution is low, the file is pretty good for quick B-roll shots. But the 4K image out of this camera is brilliant, crisp and clear. The X-A7 also enables the face detection and eye detection whenever it sees a face. So this is one of the main features that only flagship cameras give. The camera also has some creative modes such as portraits, light trails and fireworks, and based on the scene that you're shooting, you can just choose the mode that you want and then just keep shooting the pictures you want. I really wish the SR Plus mode lets you shoot raw images. You can only shoot JPEG images, and that's one of the downsides that I see, but you can also use the film simulations that you want. Right now, you are restricted only to Provia, black and white, and sepia modes. The slider that shows the preview is also really good. The SR Plus mode is aimed at speed, so you don't have to waste your valuable time tweaking the images. What's more important in an entry-level camera? The colors. The colors need to make you look presentable. The skin tones need to be beautiful, pleasing, and accurate at the same time. And this camera delivers. The skin tones are one of the best I've seen in the market, and this is the first time I'm using a Fujifilm camera. If those colors aren't enough for you, you can still use the film simulations, which will enable you to shoot in Provia, black and white, and sepia modes. The X-A7 does not have any in-body image stabilization, but the lenses do. This 15 to 45mm lens is really good in optical image stabilization. I used it while cycling and the image looked really smooth. And now let's look at the technical aspirant side. You are about to learn photography. This may be your first camera. Switching the camera to manual or aperture priority, shutter priority, or program mode enables a lot of opportunities for you to learn photography. I strongly recommend you start from the program mode because you can have really good control over the aperture, shutter speed, ISO, white balance, and even flash. So you can learn photography from there and slowly start working your way up. While I was trying to learn this camera, I shot 2 pictures of myself accidentally, and they were completely overexposed, at least by 2 or 3 stops. Okay, but thankfully I had the camera in RAW settings. That's one of the first things I do in any camera you give me. And I could pull at least 2 to 2.5 stops of highlight information from the raw images. That's really good for an entry-level camera. While the SR Plus mode is restricted only to Provia, black and white, and sepia, the manual modes open up a lot more. Provia, Velvia, Pro Negative Standard, Astia, Classic Chrome, black and white, red filters, green filters, yellow filters, and sepia. You can also make brilliant time lapses using the inbuilt intervalometer in the camera. Who is this camera for? Content creators. Any kind of content creation where you don't want to bother learning photography. I don't say that as an insult, but that's totally fine. Not everybody needs to learn photography, right? Not everybody's interested in learning photography, but you still need a reliable camera to get your things done. This is a good choice for you. This camera, since it's really small and compact and lightweight, you can carry around for street photography, travel photography, and even cooking videos. If you are about to start a cooking channel in YouTube, maybe this camera is really good for you. And apart from that, this camera is of course useful for family pictures. Take family images, group images, kids, and just mind you, this camera won't stand a chance for fast running kids. But apart from that, you can really have some good family moments captured with this camera. Can you learn photography with this camera? 100% yes. Do you need to learn photography to use this camera? I don't think so. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.